What's up, guys? I want to talk to you about overcoming the need to be labeled as something, to be a part of a group, to feel like you belong somewhere, and how you don't really need to have a label on yourself or identify with one particular thing in order to feel like you belong somewhere. And I can only speak from my own personal experience because that's all I know. So, it's natural when you start going on a journey and you start disassociating yourself from older friends, your old life, and you want to make new friends in your new life and your new interests and your new aspirations and all that. It's kind of like when you are not interested in old things that your friends and your family or whoever you're associated with, they're still into that old lifestyle and you're into something new. And so it's naturally to feel kind of isolated and alone and feel like, wow, there's no one to talk to about these sort of things. And you want to find a group of people who you can call your tribe. Like, yeah, this is my group, this is my new group, this is who I am this, I am that. And like I said, I can only speak from personal experience because when I first got out of high school, I got very much into, that was kind of like my very first introduction to the world of health and wellness, and I got introduced to it via like weightlifting. So I was really heavy into bodybuilding. I joined forums, I read a whole bunch of like scientific papers, and I bought a whole bunch of supplements and was like, hey, yeah, I'm a weightlifter, I'm a bodybuilder, this is my group, this is who I am. And when in 2012, 2013, I became a pretty hardcore vegan, and I kind of disassociated myself from the weightlifting world and got into the vegan world. And I was like, yes, now I'm a vegan, and now this is who I am, and this is now my new group. And I feel like I had to constantly reinforce the idea that I am a vegan, and I have to watch all these videos, and I have to read all these magazines, and have to tell everyone who is not a vegan, even like back when I was weightlifting, if you're not into bodybuilding or you're not into weightlifting, whoever, I had to make sure everyone knew who I was so they could, know who I was. And then in 2013, I've left the vegan scene and got very much into studying nutrition, like holistically. And I got into like the ancestral and natural foods diets and kind of expanding. Veganism was a very good introduction to healthy food, and I don't really consider myself anything now, but it was just the idea of that you are, I was never paleo, but let's say like you're vegan or you're paleo or you're ketogenic or you're high carb, whatever, you kind of like have to keep on telling yourself and telling other people that that's who you are. And so you can, because it's natural for the ego to want to survive, and to survive it needs to have a support system, and that support system comes from like-minded people who are in that particular interest field that you're in. And so I got into more of like alternative nutrition, alternative health, and then when I got to a little bit later, I switched back or whatever, and then this past summer, I got really heavy into, my last fall 2016 and then leading up to 2017, I got really heavy into really wanting to further my spiritual growth and personal development. And so I kind of left the health scene, and I'm still very invested in health, but I don't really read as many papers as I used to, and I don't really associate myself with any particular ideology. Whatever I do, it works for me, and I continue to experiment to this day. And so I got really into like spirituality and religion and trying to understand who I am as a person and who I am in the grander scheme of the cosmos and this whole divine plan. And so I got like, yeah, now I'm a spiritual person. Like it was like, bodybuilder, and then vegan, and then health guru, and then now spiritual person. And I kind of fell into that same trap where like my whole like life revolved around a particular concept, and that concept was like who I was as a person. Whether that was, you know, when I was an athlete, extreme athlete when I was, or extreme athlete, but I was really heavy into tennis. You know, I was younger prior to college, and then I was like, yeah, I'm a tennis player. And so it was just like this constant idea of like having to reinforce who I was as a person, just possibly deep down I didn't really know who I was. And that's what kind of led me to this spiritual journey, trying to figure out a very simple question, a very question that a lot of people don't really tend to think about too much unless you're in the spiritual community. It's like who am I, and like what's my purpose, where did I come from, you know, and all these things. And it's easy to fall into like this associating yourself with a camp. So like you can say like I'm a religious person, I'm a new age person, I am just a spiritual person, I'm a personal development person, or whatever. And I had a lot of like mental conflict because I would like a particular speaker in this particular camp, and I would hear them talk a little bit like down towards another person who I was interested in as well. And so I was like, well, I can't be in both camps. I can't like both of them, have to choose sides. When in reality, that's just a false idea, right? Because you can, you know, and the whole idea about true spirituality and true seeking is figuring out who you are, and if you like the certain thing and it draws you closer to whatever it is that you're looking for, and you like aspects of this thing, aspects of that thing, and you're using these things, there isn't really any problem to, you know, say that this person is bad or this idea is bad. Aspects of that idea work for you, just like in nutrition, right? So it's like this particular food is, you know, amazing, and this food is bad, but vice versa for someone else. And you don't have to form a separate identity based around your interest. And that's still something I struggle with today, because naturally I like having I've always been interested in things that my closest friends and closest family members aren't really interested in. You know, no one in my family was interested in, you know, weightlifting. No one was interested in health, like holistic nutrition. No one was interested in veganism. No one was really interested in spirituality or consciousness, or whatever you want to call it. Furthering your relationship with God was kind of just like a, you know, you grew up in church and that's all you did. It wasn't like it's like a personal seeking, and no one likes talking about it. It was just hard to find people who were interested in things I was interested in. So I kind of sought solace in communities, which is totally fine, I think. But when you get to the point where you only associate with that one thing and that's your life, I think that's when not problems come into play, but your growth is kind of halted. And your the vastness of who you actually are is kind of minimalized to that particular thing. So that was a very complicated video of me saying that be true to yourself and find your most genuine, authentic self, your highest potential, and then embrace that and love that, and don't feel like you have to label yourself as a particular thing. Like, I am this, I am this, I am that. You are exactly who you are, and you could be whoever you choose to be. So hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I will talk to you guys next time. Much love.